I think of my home, when people ask me where I'm from, I always tell them I'm from the southern shore of Lake Superior, because that seems to make the most sense. I'm from the southern shore of Lake Superior, and this Bad River watershed, I'm beginning to understand how all the contours and everything works, how the boundaries of the watershed works. But this is my home. This is where I'm connected. My family has been in this area for probably 400 years, and I've spent a lot of time growing up coming back here and then having to leave, coming back here and having to leave. And I'm very happy that I'm at the point in my life where I can come here and stay. What I had to tell you about is that these questions, for a Native person, these questions are really complicated, because there is this sense that this place is always home, and every Native person knows where that home is generally, unless they don't know where they are because they've been removed from their tribe. But a lot of people have had this relationship where they've been able to come here only for a little while and had to leave. My grandma grew up in Ondana, and during the time that she grew up, it was the height of the timber barons' conquest of the Bad River Reservation. The trees were gone, the land was bare, and there was nothing for the people. And so the people had to make this terrible choice. People in my grandma's generation had to make a terrible choice between leaving the place that they loved and they've always known, and where they wanted to be. They wanted to be here. But they had to go to Chicago and Detroit and Minneapolis and St. Paul. And all over the United States, they went to urban centers in order to make a living, because otherwise, if they stayed here, people would just starve. And so my family had to leave, but we always came back. People always came back, and I think it's all important. It's all connected. It's all an integrated system. So when I was coming here, I was thinking about, I'm in love with all the grains of sand here on this beach. And if it were springtime, you would see why, because it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm in love with all the red willow that grows on, along the banks of this place. And if you go way further down there, there's a lot of areas down along this beach and past the mouth of the river where there's gigantic white pine trees and areas that haven't been touched in a long time. There's forests that you can walk through, and then you go further down and you get into the sloughs, the Bad River. Well, the Bad River sloughs are closer. They're by the mouth of the Bad River, and then Kakagan sloughs, and it's all an integrated unit. And so, if you say you love Lake Superior is integrally connected to the Bad River, to all the parts of the Bad River watershed, and to the Kakagan sloughs and all of it, and it's all really important for the health of the lake. And Bad River Reservation has some land at the north end of the island, about everywhere around here in this watershed, because it hasn't been completely destroyed by industry yet. There's just this amazing creation that's still here, and that's holy, that's beautiful, that's sacred. And these features and the way they support life, both human life and non-human life, they're worth something. And maybe they're not immediately exchangeable for money. But we can't eat money. We can't drink money. We can't breathe money. We need these places in order to sustain our life. Well, then I have to talk about my grandma. My grandma, her name was Bessie Polifka. her Indian name was Kiki Wainikwe, and she was a really amazing individual. Like I said, she was born in 1909 on the Bad River Reservation here in Odana. What she taught me about this place is that I have a responsibility to take care of it. And she was very that lesson came through strong and clear from my grandma. And she never, the land that she owned, the allotment that she owned, she never wanted it to be developed or changed in any way. She wanted it to be kept wild, and she always wanted this place, the reservation, to be kept the way it is. Because if you look at this beach, you look all the way over there, all the way to that point out there, you don't see any big hotels or any houses or anything. This is just a beach, and this beach is the way it was when my grandma came here. And that's because the old people wanted it that way. They didn't want to see a bunch of big fancy development. They wanted it to be kept the way it was, so that it would go on and on like this for generations. And so that the little ones coming up would always have the benefit of this place. And I tried to prepare myself to do whatever I could to be ready. To be ready if there was an opportunity to use that education in a way that could uphold those values that my grandma taught me of protecting this place. And the thing is, nothing is guaranteed. You can be as prepared as you possibly can. Nothing is guaranteed. The outcome here isn't guaranteed. It's possible that mine could be in there and create quite a bit of destruction here on this reservation. But I mean, the one thing that we do have control over is our own actions, and we're gonna fight like hell to make sure that we're able to hold up our heads high and do what our ancestors taught us to do, to protect this place, to love this place, to respect this place.